My name is Carol, and for a long time I believed that certain truths could be pushed under the rug without making any noise. I was wrong. Everything began quietly, almost innocently. Accumulated exhaustion. Conversations that became increasingly practical. Nights sharing the same bed as if sharing a space, not a life. I told myself it was just a phase, that every marriage crosses deserts. But deep down, I could already feel that emptiness growing like an unfurnished room, echoing every thought I tried to ignore.
Pause here. Like the video, subscribe, turn on notifications, and tell me in the comments, what would you do next?
When I met someone else, it wasn't lightning striking from the sky. It was a thread pulled slowly. A look that lasted a second longer. A conversation that reminded me of who I was before being just a wife. For the first time in years, someone listened to me without hurry. And I let it happen. I let that space open, even knowing I shouldn't. At first, I called it a distraction, then a mistake, until the right word appeared. Too heavy to avoid. Betrayal. Each encounter came with guilt, but also with a dangerous feeling of being alive. I returned home and smiled at my husband, the bitter taste of lies in my mouth. I promised it would be the last time, that it would end there. But promises made in silence rarely survive desire. I became someone I barely recognized, divided between the woman I had been and the one I was becoming. The truth didn't take long to surface. Truths always find a crack. When he discovered it, there were no shouts. Only a silence so dense it seemed to crush the air in the room. His look wasn't anger. It was disappointment, and that hurt more than any accusation. In that instant, I understood that I hadn't betrayed just a body or an agreement, but an entire history built with plans, routines, and trust. The end of the marriage wasn't a dramatic act. It was a slow collapse. Signatures, boxes, objects divided as if they were merely things, when in fact they carried pieces of our life. I found myself alone, finally free from the emptiness that had bothered me so much, but also surrounded by another, even greater one, the emptiness of consequences. Today, when I think about everything, I don't try to absolve or condemn myself. I face it. I learned that choices made to fill a void can create abysses. I lost a marriage, a partnership, a version of myself that believed she was more whole. I gained awareness, and it doesn't come without pain. I move forward knowing that some stories don't end with immediate redemption, but with the difficult task of learning to live with what was broken and deciding, day after day, what can still be rebuilt within me.
If this felt intense, the next one is sharper and more personal. Click the next video, because the first minute changes the entire story.